Good morning, everyone. I'm just waiting for my primer to dry. I had an amazing sleep last night after the ice bath and the sauna, and I sprayed magnesium spray on my feet, which I do every single night, but magnesium actually absorbs, I don't want to say better through your skin, but it absorbs really well through your skin, like in terms of comparison to like if you took like a magnesium capsule or something. It absorbs quite quickly through your skin. So this brand, they recommend spraying it on your feet when you first start using it. And I've been doing that ever since I got it. And like the first few nights, I noticed the biggest difference in terms of just like how long I was sleeping, like how deep it felt like I was sleeping. And yeah, I'm one of those people that like I really don't function well if I'm not sleeping well. Like it just takes one night of not sleeping well and it feels like my next day is a write-off. I don't know if you're the same way. Some people seem to be able to just push through or like have like 6 hours of sleep a night, and I just can't do that. Like I need those 8 hours, at least 8. I can sometimes get by on 7.5, but that feels like it's drying, so I'm gonna keep doing my makeup. Yesterday I was using my time in the sauna to test my new primer, and because I used the Fit Cover Mineral Foundation that I normally use as a setting powder, I used that as my all over foundation yesterday. And I also did the Refi Glow Primer as well as a light layer. Oh, the light went out. A light layer of the Danessa Merrick's Blurring Balm, because I just find this really helps, like any uneven skin texture or anything, it just really helps fill it in and makes your skin look really smooth and flawless, which everybody wants. And I remembered how much I like just using like the Fit Cover Mineral Foundation as like my all over base. So I think I'm just gonna do that again today. So what I like to do is like fluffy brush first and just go all over to kind of almost create like a light base so that your powder doesn't get stuck in any areas. Like it works best if you wait for your skincare or whatever primers you used to dry down. So yeah, fluffy brush all over, and then I take my normal just foundation buffing brush this is from Mecca, and then I go in on the areas where I'd want a bit more coverage. I'm trying to be speedy because I'm going to Pilates and time is of the essence. So if I don't talk to you as much, that's why. And then I just go all over, and I don't use a concealer with this foundation, so if I want to cover anything, I just kind of go back over that area and do like layers. And I don't find that this foundation ever looks like cakey, even though it's a powder. Like I find it's very, very buildable, but I think doing thin layers and building up instead of trying to get it all done in one sometimes can look a little bit more natural. Because for me, like after I've been wearing this foundation for a while, it kind of just sinks into the skin, especially once you've done like your setting spray. So yeah, that's the base, you can sort of see. And then I really like it because that foundation, even though it's powder, you can go over it with a cream product. it doesn't move it around, which is amazing. Let's blend this in before it sets. Yeah, you do not want to delay blending your contour because for obvious reasons, you don't want it to set like how you've applied it. And today we're just going back to basics with, I say back to basics, this is like my go-to routine when I don't know what to do. It's just easy, I can get it done quick. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Highlight Blush in the shade Pinkgasm Sunset, which I think gives you like a really nice, like almost you've been on vacation, like sunburny, but in a nice way, flush. And we are speed blending today. And then I always take a little bit of extra. I always go like, you want to go up with your blush, not down here, because that's going to really like lift your face instead of dragging it down and making it look really heavy, which is not the vibe. And then we're just using the Charlotte Tilbury highlight wand in, I think this is the shade Gold. And we're speed blending her in. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Bonfire, bronzer. This brush is honestly, is it gonna focus? Is the best for doing your bronzer, like a little bit of contouring, just because of the shape of it. It just really puts the product right where you want it to be. And I always set my cream blush with a little bit of powder blush. This is the like kind of peachy pink shade. Next, we're going in with Benefit highlighter in Tickle, just over top to set that highlight. When I do my makeup like this, it really lasts like all day. Like you can be sweating, you can be out doing stuff, and I really find like it just keeps your makeup on there. We're going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Easy Eye Wand in the shade Sun-Kissed Eyes. This is just a really nice like glowy sort of pink eyeshadow stick. I really wish they would bring these back because I keep checking on the website and I think they're discontinued, which makes me very sad. I always go under my eyes a little bit with it, and then I just really bring this up quite high. And now we're gonna blend it. I just think it's like a really nice, like pinky bronze. Like you wouldn't think pink eyeshadow was gonna be that flattering, but this shade is. So Charlotte Tilbury, I doubt you're watching, but bring it back. And then the Kat Von D Tattoo eyeliner in the brown shade. Next, blot the lips. gonna use the Refi Lip Sculpt in the shade Rosewood, if I can get her open. Let that dry a little bit before you apply your gloss, because that's what's gonna allow it to stay as long as it can. And next we're just gonna set our makeup with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. And that just, I find, like melts everything all together, and like it's hard to see because the light went out. I don't know if you can see, but and then we're gonna go in with the Refi lip gloss in the shade Fawn. I'm gonna put our fringe back so we do not look like a crazy person. I tried a new way of doing heatless curls last night, so we'll see how long it lasts. But that is the makeup look done, and yeah, let's get going. To get a fun drink every time you go to Flannery's. I don't make the rules. This sounds interesting. I've tried other flavors of this drink, and I really liked them. So yeah, we will see. I went to actually go get a water filter, but they didn't have them. So fun drink it is. Store. I thought I would show you what I got. So I got a couple of these little pots because I thought they would be perfect for growing microgreens in, because you can have a little bit of soil, but you're not wasting a ton of soil, because each time I do a batch of microgreens, I kind of end up tossing the soil afterwards. I don't know what else you're supposed to do with it, but it's like full of like roots and all of that. I don't know. If you had more space, you could probably compost it, but I don't have space to do that. So I thought these would be perfect. I got 2 of them. I think I'll probably start them. In retrospect now, I should have gotten the saucers to put underneath them, because if I'm going to have them inside, obviously you don't want water going everywhere when you water your plants. So I'll have to think about what I'm going to do with that. And then I got this cute little green pot because I was a victim to email marketing yesterday or the day before. I got an email from one of the places that I get seeds from, and they were like, we are having a 50-cent or $1 seed packet sale. And I was like, I'll just look and see if there's anything. Like, I've just ordered a bunch of seeds. I don't really need anything else. And then I saw that they had a variety of strawberry that is supposed to only grow up to 15 centimeters. So, long story short, I ordered it, as well as some broccoli sprouting seeds, and I think there was something else in there, radish seeds. I have mixed feelings about radishes, because I don't mind if radishes are sort of like in something as a garnish, or there's a little bit on top. I don't know if they're my favorite thing ever, but then I thought, well, maybe if I grow them, they will be my favorite, not my favorite thing, but they'll be something that I'll eat. And apparently they're quite easy to grow, and it's like a quick thing to grow. So I did think about, well, maybe I'll just, maybe I'll try growing a few radishes too. I think I'll just throw a few in. I think they're the French variety. So yeah, they did say that they grow quite quick. So I think in my mind, usually that kind of thing, if you pick it, not too early, obviously, like it's had a chance to develop the radish, but like waiting longer, I think makes them woodier and tough. I don't know if that's totally true. I made that up. I mean, it made sense to me based on like what you know about other root vegetables. So I thought I would just try a few and see if I find ways to use them. Because I was thinking like, well, what can I put them on? I could slice them up and put them on my avocado toast. I could like slice them really, really thin and use them as a garnish on things. I'm sure I'll find something to do with them, but I just thought if it's fun, it's quick, it's easy, sometimes you like things more when you grow them yourselves as opposed to like buying them in a store. So we're experimenting this summer in the veggie garden. So I'm gonna take everything out there. Oh, and I got some potting mix too. I don't need to show you what that looks like. You've seen like potting mix before. I got a big bag of that. And so we're gonna go pot some things, plant some things out on the balcony. It is very windy out there, so I don't think I'll be able to talk to you. We'll see how it goes. But if I just end up like filming it, that's why, because it's quite windy out there. And it's turned into a beautiful sunny day this morning when I went to Pilates, which I didn't show you because you saw me go to Pilates like earlier in the vlog, because I went yesterday and today. It looked like it was gonna storm. And then when I parked my car and I turned around, the full moon looked phenomenal. Like she was still in the sky. Like she looked huge too. Like I'll insert a clip because I tried to take a video. It's not amazing. It's hard to video the moon. It's hard to photograph the moon unless you have the right equipment, but you'll see what I mean. Like she looks huge out there, and I'm like, maybe that's why I feel weird this weekend, because I felt like I am very sensitive to the moon energy, and when it's full moon, I can feel a little weird, and I don't think it's just me. I mean, people always throw around like the thing where apparently like emergency rooms are crazier at the full moon, like people in general are crazier, animals are affected, like the term like being a lunatic, where did that come from? Like we are very affected by the moon, and I don't think we always are aware of it, but when it's a full moon, I just feel sort of out of sorts. So yeah, anyways, I thought I was very well restrained also, might I say, when I went to the garden store. I saw some plants. I was very tempted. I was like, there could be space
in the balcony bed for that, because here's my thinking. So over the past summer, I like transitioned the balcony bed to be like a low maintenance, like drought tolerant, heat resistant, like kind of situation, because it gets blasted with the afternoon sun in the summer and only the strong survive. And so it's been a little bit of a rejigging to see like what does well in there. And obviously lavender doesn't like to be super wet. It doesn't like to have wet roots. It almost like thrives a little bit when you ignore it. And it's the same with the erigeron and the, I can never say this, the euphorbia, I don't know. And then we have like the butterfly grass, like the gaura, and all of those do really well with like not being watered a lot. But, and it's a big but, sometimes when I have herbs that have been growing in plants for a while and they like are not happy, I just like put them into the balcony bed as like a last ditch attempt at survival to see if that will bring them back to life. And it often does. They usually like it in there. And last summer, same thing with the chocolate mint happened. I put this little shred of the chocolate mint into the balcony bed, and I did not have high hopes. But all of a sudden, she started growing. And then she really started growing. And then she grew so big that she was like pushing on the lavender. I was having to prune her back. Like she just was on a mission to take over the world. And the thing about like the mint though is it prefers to have like damp roots, or not damp, but like moist, and it's right next to the lavender, which hates that. And so I wasn't watering it a ton over winter because everything else in there seemed quite happy with the amount of watering, except for the mint. And I was like, I don't know, what should we do? Do I try and keep the diva happy at the expense of everyone else around her? Or I don't think she would like going back in a pot, because that's why she originally got put in there, because she wasn't happy in a pot. And I'm not quite sure what to do. Like, because I love the chocolate mint. I love picking it for tea. I love making teas out of it. It just, the flavor of it is insane. It literally tastes like chocolate and mint. But if you like those flavors, you'll understand why that's so exciting. And I just don't know what to do. Like, she's a little bit struggling at the moment. And I was like, does she need more water? Is it just the end of winter? Maybe she needs a feed. I was thinking closer to the end of August, I probably will give the balcony bed like a big feed, because the lavender, and I didn't know this, apparently lavender takes a few years to establish before you actually start getting flowers. Now it's been in there for 2 years, and I'm like, where are my flowers? I want flowers. So I did some Googling, as you do, and the Google told me that I probably need to fertilize with a fertilizer that's high in nitrogen. And I was like, I swear that's what I've been doing. And I went and looked in the cupboard to see all the different fertilizers I have. And I was like, yeah, all of these are higher in nitrogen, because apparently that promotes, if a plant has a flower, it promotes flowering. And also it's like good for if you have any like fruit or vegetables or that kind of thing. It's a good kind of fertilizer for that. And I have a fair few that have like that as a, I think it's like an NPK fertilizer. And I was like, okay, well, I think once it gets a little bit closer to spring, we are at the end of winter when I'm filming this. It's like mid-August. And yeah, I don't know. I really want flowers off of my lavender. I was actually really tempted when I was at the garden store and they had like lavender that was flowering. And I was like, what if I just buy it in the pot and like plant it, and then I've got my flowers. But there's not really space for that because the lavender does grow quite a bit. If I was going to do that, I'm going to have to move a fair few things around, and the things that I would have to move are actually doing really well, so I don't want to move them. So yeah, that's the dilemma that I've been experiencing recently. But I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with the chocolate mint. I think I'll give it a few weeks, and then I will give everything a big feed, and we'll just see how things go after that. And yeah, but in the meantime, I'm going to pot this stuff up. I might put you on, I'll bring you and we can do it together. I don't know what's going on with, I tried like a new heatless curl method, and I don't think I like it very much because it was a little bit windy out there and I didn't have high hopes in terms of how long it was going to last, but this is really not the one. I don't know. Anyways, let's go and pot up. we're gonna pot up a fair few things. Like some of the pots were just, I don't know actually. Is it better to wait for the seedlings to come before I start putting dirt in the pots? Because otherwise the pots might just, does the dirt dry out? I don't know how it works. Maybe I should water the dirt so that it doesn't all like blow all over the balcony because it's so windy today. That's true actually, I didn't even think about that. Okay, now I feel like I'm just talking out loud, but we can definitely go and plant the microgreens, which those we'll be able to harvest in like a week or two, because I used up my last batch and then I just didn't have any more. I like kept being like, I need to do this, I need to do this. But the thing with microgreens, obviously, is you have to wait for them to be ready before you can eat them. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Here's how I grow the microgreens. So first, you just fill up your little pots or containers with soil. Next, you're gonna water it before you put the seeds in. So this is so that you don't wash all your seeds away, especially if they're small. And you just wanna give the soil like a good soaking. Next, you're going to put your seeds in, but you want to make sure that they're not too deep. What I do is I just sprinkle them around on top. Don't worry too much about spacing because you're going to harvest them quite quickly. And then after this, we're going to put a light layer of soil so they're just covered, because you want to make sure that they're able to actually get to the light, which is what they need. And then we're just going to leave these somewhere warm. On your kitchen bench is a great spot. So I am presenting my research at my first conference ever tomorrow, which is also, it's just like a university-wide conference, but still, that is like a big room full of people, and public speaking is something, it's a skill that I'm working on developing, let's put it that way. So I have a few different outfit options as to what I thought I could wear, and yeah, I thought we could go over them together. I mean, I know by the time that this is posted, you are going to have already seen what I chose to wear. But yeah, I thought we could go over the options together, and maybe after watching this back, I'll have a better idea of what I'm gonna wear. So yeah, I'll get on the first one. This is option number 1. So I've got the waistcoat from Holland Cooper and the matching trousers as well. Yeah, I'm gonna cinch in the little waist at the back. There's a little thing so you can cinch it in a little bit, so it really just sculpts you while you are wearing the suiting. I love tailoring on women. I just think it looks super classic, super elegant. It's just, yeah, and like this suit, I absolutely love this tartan. It makes me so happy. So yeah, this is option number 1. I've gone for the little crisp classic white shirt underneath, and I haven't buttoned it up all the way, so it feels a little bit more relaxed. So yeah, what do we think of option number 1? I will move back so you can see. I've also paired it with these little horse bit loafers, or like mules I guess they are, because they're just super comfortable, easy to wear, and yeah, I feel really good in this. Like, I really like this look. I feel put together. I feel like it'll be good because it's still, I mean, if you're indoors all day, sometimes like the air conditioning is on and it's a little bit cold, so at least you know you're gonna not be too hot wearing this. So yeah, I'm thinking this is option number 1. Holland Cooper, I just have to say, like, the detailing on this is just absolutely insane. Like, it's wool, but it's so lightweight, it's so comfortable. You got little pockets, the trousers are lined, they have this really cute gold button detailing and little gold, I guess they're not really snaps, but yeah, I do have the matching jacket, but I don't know if that's too much. Yeah,
let me know what you think. I feel really good in this. The colors are just amazing to me. The print of the tartan is just amazing. So I feel like this is a good option, and it feels a little bit more casual with the sleeves rolled up and the top button undone, and then I'm just wearing like my normal everyday watch. So yeah, that is option number 1. This is option number 2. I'm wearing this black square neck midi dress from Stowed, and I've paired it with the same white Ralph Lauren shirt underneath. I think this is a good option because I feel really comfortable in it. I feel cute. I feel put together. I'll show you. I've paired it with these little black ballet flats, just for like an easy classic option. I love the way that this sort of subtly nips you in at the waist, and the length is really nice. So I always feel really like good in a dress. Sometimes, I don't know, me and pants, it can be tough sometimes, but I feel really good wearing a dress. And this Stowed dress is honestly, it has gone the distance in my wardrobe, and I loved it so much in black that I did end up getting it in white as well, because you can just wear it to do so many different things. Like, I really like it paired with a white shirt underneath if you want to wear it through winter or when it's a little bit colder. You could even throw like a cute cropped blazer over this, or like a cardigan over your shoulders if you just wanted a little bit extra. And then obviously in summer, like, I'll just wear it without the white shirt underneath, and it is like a great just like summer dress option as well. I actually wore this to my graduation, so I kind of think it's kind of a cute little nod to the history of this dress in my wardrobe, of like coming with me to pretty momentous occasions. So I think it's kind of cute, the idea of wearing the dress that I graduated from my bachelor's of psychology and wearing it to my first conference that I'm ever doing to present my research. I think that's kind of a cute like nod to the history of it, and I think, yeah, this is a strong contender. I do really like this look. I feel really good in it. I feel comfortable. I mean, it is cold at the moment, so having the legs out might be a little bit chilly, but I also could just bring a cardigan with me to throw over my shoulders if it does end up feeling cold in there, which I think also would be a cute option too, like just like a cream colored or maybe like a navy cable knit would also look really cute over this. But this dress is amazing. Like, I swear you could wear it to pretty much anything. Like, you can dress it down with more of like a basket bag and a pair of slides. You could dress it up by changing the jewelry you put with it and wearing a pair of like higher heels, and it just feels good. And this is the kind of piece that I love in my wardrobe. Was it a little bit of an investment? Yes, but at the same time, this dress is like, you could wear it to a million different places. It gives you that versatility, and that's always what I really want, like in those pieces, if you are going to invest a little bit more. And like the quality of it is just amazing. Like the fit, the cut of it, how it feels, how lightweight it is. It's cotton, which you know I absolutely love, and it's double lined as well. So it's just one of those pieces that's going to go with you so many different places, and I really think that is so much more worthwhile to me of investing in something that is just going to go the distance like that, because you can wear it so many different ways. You're always going to feel good. It's just a good go-to. You don't have to think about it too much, but you just look polished and put together, which is like always kind of like the goal. And it's such an elegant length too. Like, I think the midi, it's kind of almost a mid-axi on me because of my height, but if you wear a pair of heels, it's really just perfect. So yeah, this is a strong contender, but we're not done yet. There is one more option that I was kind of thinking is just like a fail-safe backup if I was feeling indecisive. So I'll put that on next and I will show you. Okay, we have our last and final option here. So I've gone with this striped Ralph Lauren button-down shirt with the contrast collar and the cuff detail.
I should probably do up my buttons. I really love the crest detail on here. I love a crest. I just think it is like a really fun detail. It makes what is otherwise like just kind of a classic striped shirt, adds a little bit of intrigue to it, makes it a little bit more interesting. I did not go with a belt, and I'm still deciding on that. The pants don't need it to hold them up, but sometimes I think it's nice just to have like that little bit of detail. I would probably go for like a black and gold belt if I was going to add one, but I kind of like also the simplicity of like not having a belt. And these are just my like absolute favorite like black wide leg tailored trousers. I've paired it with my like horse bit loafer, which you can't really see when the pants are over it, but that's okay. They're kind of, I just sort of want the shoes to sort of blend in with the pants. Yeah, I feel like this is a bit more of like a minimal look for me. But yeah, I feel like this is kind of like a safe option, but it feels really good. It feels really comfortable. These trousers are like, I think they're called the Effortless trouser from Aritzia, and I've had them for 3 years now, and let me tell you, they are incredible. Like, they don't need to be ironed or steamed, first of all. They never wrinkle, but they've got a nice front pleat detailing, and they honestly just feel like you're wearing pajamas, but you look like you tried. You look like you put in effort. You look put together, and they go with so many things. Like, they really, if you just want one pair of tailored trousers to be like workhorses in your wardrobe, let me tell you, these are the ones. They're just so comfortable. I think the price point is really reasonable for like just how good they are. The fit is amazing, and because I am petite, you can get them in petite sizing, which is honestly so underrated because it means I don't have to take them to get tailored. I don't have to guess at the tailor, like, is this too long, is it too short, like, I don't know, which is always my dilemma. I'm like, do you tailor your pants so they work when you're wearing a heel, or do you tailor your pants so they work when you're wearing a flat? And I don't know, I stress about that decision sometimes. But yeah, I really like this option as well. I feel really comfortable put together. I feel like it's like professional, but it's understated. So yeah, sometimes, I mean, I feel like I'm overdressed a lot of the time when I go places, but in the words of Oscar Wilde, you can never be overdressed or overeducated, and apparently put it on my gravestone because that is my life motto apparently at this point, because the amount of degrees, certifications, trainings that I have done, like, it's a lot. It's a lot. How many degrees does one person need? I guess I'm here to test that theory, but I just genuinely love learning so much. I mean, now I've got my bachelor's, I'm getting my PhD, I have a lot of like diplomas and like certificates and like that kind of thing, not to mention all of like the online courses and other things I've done, and then like my RTT, like hypnotherapy certification, and like I'm not even done yet. I think, like, of course, once finish the PhD, of course, but I'm like, there is other programs that I really want to study, and not necessarily because I want to make a career out of them, but just because I think they're truly fascinating. Like, yeah, I just love learning. So I'm not even done yet. So I think, yeah, take that Oscar Wilde quote, put it on my gravestone. That is my life motto. But in terms of being overdressed, I think this is probably a pretty good option. Like, it's nothing too crazy. I feel like the tartan like suit is a statement, but I also like kind of like that. Like, maybe people will be looking at that and they won't focus on if I fumble my words or something during my presentation. Not that I think that's gonna happen, but just, yeah, decisions. I guess you'll see. I don't know if I'll be able to get like any photos or like videos or anything of me actually at the conference. I mean, I can obviously like film like the other people when I'm there. I don't know if anyone is going to be able to film me. We'll see how it goes on the day. But if I do, I will put some of that footage in here, and then you can see what I decided to wear.
So you would have seen, I posted some pictures, I think I'm gonna remember to drop them in, of the conference yesterday that, what is going on here? I went to, and that was my first conference ever, first time presenting my research, I was like, well, I think it was probably my first conference. I don't think I've been to a research conference before, that unless I'm massively misremembering something. But I had a really good time. Everyone's like presentations were really, really interesting. Everyone is doing lots of really interesting research. And it was like just a really nice, like dipping a toe in my first experience, because everyone was really supportive and really lovely, and it's all other like PhD students and like professors at the university. And yeah, it was crazy because I thought the day was gonna drag, to be honest. Like, it's a long day, and yeah, sometimes my attention span is not the best. In those kind of settings, which is kind of funny because like in school, like I was not a star student by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I really struggled to pay attention, really didn't feel engaged, like just really didn't try very hard. So sometimes I like think it's funny that I'm doing a PhD now. But I love doing a PhD, and it's crazy because like I never felt in like high school or elementary school, like it just never really felt like the right place for me. Like, I just kind of didn't feel like, I don't know, wasn't a fan. But like being in university and being in the PhD program, like it just feels so good. Like, it feels so right. Like, it feels like I'm like, ah, my people, like we get to talk about things that, like, obviously I'm so fascinated by like psychology and all the different facets of psychology. And I think it was just psychology, or like, yeah, I think it was just psychology. Can't remember. I'm like, maybe it was just psychology students. But anyways, it really goes to show how there's so many different facets of psychology that you can know about. And I think that's really interesting, because it's like, they talk about like the Dunning-Kruger effect, where it's like the more you know, the more you realize you don't know anything. And how it's like, you think psychology is like a field, but there's actually so many different things within it that are completely different. And I'm like, I know about my niche area. I know nothing about any of the other areas and like what's going on. So that's always interesting to hear about things that are just outside of your field, even though they're in your field. And I think presentation wise, I didn't think it was a bad first attempt. I think I really struggled with like not looking at my slides. Like, I feel like my comfort zone was like reading off the slides, and I know that's not what you're supposed to do when you're presenting, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make this easy for myself. And like, first time we're doing this, I think it's like in horseback riding, like where the first time you do something, it's just about survival. Like, you don't have to make it pretty, it doesn't have to be perfect, you just have to do it, and you have to get through. And I was kind of thinking, like, I was really anxious yesterday morning, I will not lie. I was like sitting in my car in the car park when I got there, and I was like, oh my god, feeling all the feels. But I think if there's one thing that's like good about me, is I don't let being scared of something or like feeling anxious stop me from doing things. And I don't mean like in the sense that I go and do things that are dangerous in like a negative way. I mean in the sense that like when I'm at the edge of my comfort zone and I'm gonna do something that like I want to do, but I just feel afraid of doing it, I don't let being afraid stop me from doing it. Because I think there's so much pressure like that we put on ourselves to be like, I have to do this thing perfectly, I have to get it right, I can't fail, like I can't mess up, like if people think badly of me, or if I like embarrass myself in front of all the things, like I'm sure like you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's like, if you want to live an interesting life, you just can't let that stuff stop you. And I think that's the thing, is like, I guess feedback I get from other people is like, people think like I just am not afraid and I like just go and do things, and I'm like, no, I am afraid. A lot of the time I am anxious, a lot of the time I am really hard on myself and quite self-critical at times, but I also don't let that stop me from doing things, which I think is a really good skill to have, because it's like, as a recovering perfectionist, I think the thing that like we really need to learn is like having a growth mindset, like being like, yeah, I might fuck up, oops, I might mess up, I might get it wrong. I might do a terrible job. I might be the worst presenter on the day, maybe. But also maybe not. And also, if you want to be good at something, you have to be willing to be bad at it first. There's just no other way. And I think that's one of the things that, like, society doesn't teach us how to do, is like how to be bad at things. Like when you're a kid, you like fall down all the time when you're learning how to walk, but you don't ever be like, oh, walking's not for me. Like, guess I'll just give up and continue crawling. And I think that we lose that as an adult based on like what we think people will think about us, or what it will mean if we mess up, or if we fail, or if we do something and people see us do it and it's not perfect, or like you just can't let it stop you, because it's like you have to, I mean you can if you want to, but you're just gonna live a really boring life. But it's just kind of like anyone who's done anything has failed more times than you can imagine, has like struggled more than you probably know, like especially with social media and the way that we present our things and the way that we curate our lives online. People don't really talk about the times that they really mess it up, or sometimes they do, but yeah, I think overall it's like it's really easy to see like the polished, finished version of something and think that that person has never like done it badly or struggled at any point in time. And I think it's just really important to keep it real and be like, everyone who you have seen be like exceptional or really good at something or seem confident in doing it, like you just didn't see all the times they didn't do it well, you know? So I think it's important to like keep it real that like you have to be bad to be good. And I think especially depending what the thing is, like especially when it comes to creative stuff, and there's like an Ira Glass quote that I've heard so many times, and he's like, you get into, I'm going to paraphrase, but he's like, you get into like creative things or the arts or doing stuff like that because you have good taste, but when you're starting, your skill level hasn't like met up to your taste level, so you get really frustrated with yourself because you're like, I know what I want to be creating, but I am not creating at that level yet. But the thing is if you give up before you get to that level, you'll never get there, because you can't get good at something without first being bad. And I just really wish that that was like emphasized more. Like instead of praising people for being like, oh, that was perfect, or you did a good job or whatever, it's like, look at the effort. Like praise yourself for your effort. Be like, look, I went, I tried, I gave it a go, I learned X, Y, Z. And I think that's the other thing, is like using your lessons as feedback. Like don't just be like, oh, I failed, I should never do this, or whatever, I'm not cut out to do this. Be like, okay, like let's really evaluate like what worked well, what didn't work well, what felt good, what didn't feel good. Would I do this different next time? Would I do that different? Can't talk while we're doing the contour. But I just think that it's one of those things that like we don't really get, I don't know about you, but like I wasn't taught that growing up. Like it was like, oh, you did this thing, good job, or oh, you didn't do a good job, or whatever. And I think it's really to our detriment. I'm gonna blend this and then I'll come back. I don't know what it is, but I just can't talk and blend the contour at the same time. The cheeks are moving. And yeah, but there was actually one presenter who was talking about like maladaptive perfectionism versus excellencism. And excellencism, oh my god, can't even say it, is about like having high standards but also having a growth mindset, and basically like what I've been talking about. It's like kind of being a little bit more optimistic, or having more of a growth mindset about things. Like you want to do things to a high standard, but you're willing to get it wrong, you're willing to learn from your mistakes and that kind of thing, instead of hinging your self-worth on your performance, which I think is a trap that a lot of us fall into, because then when you're not producing, then where is your worth coming from, right? Gotta do some blush. But yeah, I was like, I think that's a topic like near and dear to my heart, because I won't even lie, sometimes I can be extremely like self-critical and like hard on myself, and it's something I'm working on. But it's also kind of having self-compassion and being like, well, sometimes like you are the way you are. And I think like people want to see like the, oh, I've grown from this and I'm not like that anymore, and here's how I changed it and blah, blah, blah. And it's just realizing at the end of the day, whether it's like learned behavior or your personality or whatever, sometimes you just are the way you are sometimes. Sometimes I can have really high standards for myself. Does it allow me to achieve a lot? Yes. Does it also make me really miserable sometimes? Also yes. And I think like me before would have wanted to be like, no, I don't struggle with that anymore, but I'm keeping it real. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely still struggle with that sometimes. And it's something I'm working on. But is it kind of crazy to think that, or I think it's crazy to think that that's just going to go away, because like I don't think it will. It's just about learning to not take that voice in your head as the truth, and also being like, okay, well, what's a different way I could see this, or like, could I be a little bit nicer to myself? And also practicing compassion for having that part, which is kind of meta, but it's like, instead of beating myself up for still being a little bit perfectionistic sometimes, being like, look, that's how you survived most of your life. That's adaptive for you. That like was protective for you. That's a part that also has helped you achieve a lot in life. And like, we're not saying that you have to give up having high standards. We're just saying that like, can you be a little bit nicer to yourself along the way? And also have forgiveness and like kindness for yourself for having that part. Because like, I'm not enlightened. I'm not a monk. I'm not completely like devoid of having feelings about the things that happen in life. And I don't always think that that should be the point. I think sometimes the spiritual community will try and make you think that you should just go through life and never be triggered by anything. And if you are, then you're not fully healed or whatever. This is my rant for the morning. And I just don't think, for most of us, the path to enlightenment, I don't think that's necessarily... It's not maybe necessarily everyone's goal or even their purpose in this lifetime, you know? Like sometimes I think you are on earth to learn the lessons, and you learn the lessons through friction. Yeah, so that's what I think about that. But just gonna put a little bit more blushy. So yeah, all in all, I think it was a very good first effort. It was like sometimes you just have to like go and do something and see, okay, where are we at with the thing? And I think it was very much that. Also, I got back into using like the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize pots. I was really into these for a while, and then I kind of like got into other eyeshadows. This one is Walk of Shame. I know it looks scary because you're like, who wants to put on red eyeshadow? But it's actually so flattering on, and I'll show you. I think it just gives like a really nice wash of color that sort of brings a little bit of depth to your eyes, but it also doesn't, it's not like, yeah, you kind of see that? It's very wearable for what is literally a red eyeshadow. So yeah, I think it was a good first effort. Oops. I dropped my what is this? Brow gel. I think it was a good first effort. I've learned what I need to do for next time, and I'm gonna get to practice again next week because I am doing the Brisbane Mental Health Conference, which is like a real person conference, not like a university-wide conference like this one was. So that's gonna be interesting. At least I'm presenting on the same research, because being an early career researcher, I've only got so many publications. So yeah, I think that's gonna be good. At least I have another girl who goes to my uni is gonna be there, and I met her at this conference yesterday. So I think that'll be nice to at least have like a friendly face. And this one, it's only 8 minutes. To put it in perspective, the one yesterday, you had like 10 minutes to talk. And it wasn't super strict in terms of like the timing. But yeah, I think the one next week, it's like 8 minutes, 2 minutes for questions. And I'm like, can I just talk for 10 minutes and no questions? But, because this time I didn't get that many questions, because I guess like drug research is not most of the people who were there, it's not their subject. So they didn't have that many questions, which is like, I know you have to answer questions, but sometimes it's nice just to not have to say. What are we doing next? Bronzer. So yeah, so H&M Europe, I'm obsessed with everything they do. I'm gonna set my blush with, you can see how well loved this is. This is the RMS Beauty Maiden's blush, and I really like it. Just to like set the cream underneath. Yeah, just to kind of lock everything in, gives it a bit of a glow. Is that everything I wanted to do? No. I wanted to do eyeliner. All right, that is the finished look. I haven't done lips yet. Oh my goodness. For my lip today, I think we're gonna go back. I was obsessed with this. This is from Kosas, and I don't know what the name of it is, but the shade is Island High, and it's just kind of like this really nice sort of, can you see that? Nope, it's not gonna focus. It's just like a really comfortable sort of like balmy lipstick. Super comfortable to wear. I think it's sort of like one of those like Your Lips but better kind of shades. I'm obsessed. But anyways, what I was saying about, just gonna set this first. What I was saying about H&M Europe, I feel like they always get like stuff in better colors than H&M in Australia, because there was this really cute dress that I saw on another YouTuber, and I was like, oh my god, I hope that we get that when it's like our summer season. And they brought it out, but it's like a cobalt blue. And I was just like, why? Why do you think that? Like, why would anyone want that over like a just nice white cotton? Like, makes me mad. Anyways, but there was also another white like broderie anglaise. Am I saying that right? I'm very sorry to anyone who actually speaks French. It's like a white broderie anglaise, like cotton long sleeve shirt dress, like midi dress. And I thought that would just be so nice for, I don't know, just whenever. Honestly, like I just don't think you can have enough cotton midi shirt dresses. So I've been waiting and waiting, and H&M Australia, guess what? They bring it out in like a bright cornflower blue, and I was just like, no, why can we not just have this in white? And I could see that they had like the white colorway like listed, like, you know, underneath on the app when they have the little thing indicating like this comes in multiple colors, and they like had the little white square, but when you clicked onto the page, let's use some dry shampoo, it like didn't exist. And I was like, well, I hope that means that they're saying like it's gonna they're putting it there because they're gonna get it in. And finally they have. So I ordered that, and actually I found a few really good bits from H&M for summer, or I guess for like just a cute like summer capsule wardrobe, or if you're going on holiday. I think there's going to be some really good bits in there. So I will, when they arrive, we'll do like a try on of them together, because I think there's some really good pieces in there. I found this pair of like linen shorts, and like they're kind of like tailored. They've got a front pleat. They're like a really nice length, and I got them in navy, and I was like, oh my god, I think I need these in every color because they're phenomenal. Like the fit, the quality of the linen. Yeah, so when that comes, we'll do a try on. I don't know if that's going to be in this vlog or the next one, but yeah, I think if you're in the opposite season and you're like, I don't want to see summer stuff anymore, just know that it's like, I think these pieces would be really good for like a capsule wardrobe that you can just wear summer after summer. They would be really good for if you're going on a winter sun holiday. I mean, you could potentially layer them up and style them. It really depends what hemisphere you're in and what season you're in, whether this is going to be super helpful for you. But anyways, I will show you what they look like on when they arrive. But yeah, makeup and hair are done for the day, and let's get going with things.